something is shifting, and the whole world can feel it. Global crises, political instability, economic collapse, pandemics, and wars. It seems like every day another catastrophe unfolds. The air is thick with uncertainty, as if something unseen is unraveling beneath the surface. Old structures are crumbling, and with them, the illusion of stability dissolves. For centuries, civilizations have feared this moment, the time when everything known would be shaken to its core. Ancient texts spoke of upheaval, cycles of destruction and rebirth, great empires turning to dust. And yet the strangest part is not the chaos itself, but the feeling that something beyond it is unfolding, as if behind the smoke and ruin, something waits, watching, emerging. But what is happening to the world? And why now? For centuries, scriptures have warned of an impending end, an era where the world would be unrecognizable, where everything familiar would collapse. The Bible speaks of an apocalypse, a final reckoning where light and darkness clash before a new kingdom emerges. Hinduism describes the Kali Yuga, the dark age where humanity loses its way before a great renewal. Ancient Mayan prophecies foretold the year 2012 as the end of a cycle, misunderstood by many as the end of the world, but in truth, a transition into something new. Yet, mystics and astrologers tell a different story. They speak not of destruction, but of awakening. According to astrology, we have left behind the age of Pisces, an era ruled by dogma, control, and illusions. We have now entered the Age of Aquarius, a time of truth, rebellion, and transformation. Some say the shift began in 2020, others trace it back to 2012, but all agree. We are in the midst of it now. But what does this new era truly mean? And how long will this spiritual shift last? That depends on how long it takes for the old world to fully collapse. The destruction unfolding before our eyes is not a mistake. It is an inevitability. Empires rise and empires fall. Civilizations thrive and then they disappear. The Romans believed they were invincible, as did the Mayans, the Egyptians, and countless others before them. Each one reached a breaking point, a moment where the weight of their own creation became too much to sustain. And now here we are. But this time it's not just a single empire collapsing, it's the entire global system. The economy trembles under the weight of its own excess. Inflation surges, banks collapse, and once powerful currencies lose their grip. Governments, desperate to maintain control, tighten their grip on citizens, only to find rebellion growing stronger. Political structures are more fragile than ever, with leaders rising and falling in an instant. Meanwhile, the greatest revolution of all is unfolding, the rise of artificial intelligence. The world is being reprogrammed. Automation, deep learning, quantum computing. Technology is accelerating beyond human comprehension. Wars are no longer fought just with weapons, but with data, algorithms, and manipulation. Is this progress, or the final step toward a world where human autonomy is lost? The Age of Aquarius demands evolution, but evolution requires destruction. The past must be burned away before something new can rise. But will humanity embrace the transformation, or resist until the bitter end? A transformation of this scale does not happen quietly. It is felt, deeply, viscerally, within every individual touched by it. As the world undergoes a global awakening, something within people begins to shift as well. And for many, it is not a gentle process. It begins with emotional upheaval, sudden mood swings, an overwhelming sensitivity to energies, and a deep sense that something is changing, even if it cannot be explained. Relationships that once felt secure begin to unravel, old desires fade, and the things that once brought comfort now feel empty. Loss of interest in materialism, Superficiality and societal expectations is common as people begin seeking something more, something real. Physically, the body reacts too. Fatigue, dizziness, headaches, and erratic sleep patterns become more frequent. Some report pressure in the forehead, as if their third eye is trying to open. Others feel a surge of energy, as if their entire system is being rewired. Mentally, everything is questioned. Long-held beliefs collapse, priorities shift, and a deep curiosity for truth emerges. The old way of thinking no longer makes sense. This is not just change, it is spiritual rebirth. But as the new self emerges, what happens to the version left behind? Not everyone awakens at the same time. Some embrace the shift immediately, feeling an unshakable pull toward consciousness evolution. Others resist, clinging to the world as they've always known it. But no matter how much they fight against it, the awakening is inevitable. The only real difference is when it happens. For some, the global awakening is exhilarating, an expansion of consciousness, a liberation from illusion. But for others, it is terrifying. To awaken means to question everything, the systems they trusted, the beliefs they built their lives around, the identity they thought was real. And not everyone is willing to face that. This resistance is not just stubbornness. It is cognitive dissonance, the mind's desperate attempt to cling to familiar truths, even when they no longer make sense. It is ego resistance, a primal fear of the unknown. The old self does not die easily. It fights, denies, rationalizes. And so, a division grows, those who embrace the shift and those who reject it entirely. Yet even resistance cannot stop the inevitable. The force of this transformation is too vast, too deeply woven into the fabric of existence. Some will awaken slowly, others all at once, but all will in time. Because this shift is not a moment, it is a process, and that process has only just begun. This awakening is not an instant revelation, it is a process, one that unfolds over generations. While some have already shifted into a new state of consciousness evolution, others are just beginning to feel the pull. This transition does not happen overnight. It moves in cycles, shaped by forces greater than any single lifetime. Astrological traditions suggest that humanity has entered the full transition into the Age of Aquarius, a cycle believed to last for over 2,000 years. However, the most intense phase of this global awakening is expected to span the next 20 to 30 years, dismantling the last remnants of the old world. Historically, great shifts in human consciousness have taken time. The Renaissance, the Enlightenment, and even the Industrial Revolution did not happen in a single moment. They were gradual, yet unstoppable. The difference now is the speed. Technological advancements, artificial intelligence, and quantum discoveries are accelerating this shift at an unprecedented rate. But awakening is not just about external events. It is a transformation of the self. The question is not whether the world will change. It is already changing. The question is, how will each individual navigate the storm of transition? Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that nothing feels the same. The way you perceive the world, the way people interact, even time itself, everything seems to flow differently. You are still here in the same world, yet something fundamental has changed. The old fears no longer have power over you. The noise of the external world fades. What once seemed important now feels trivial. For those who step fully into the global awakening, life becomes a dance between the seen and unseen. Synchronicities multiply, intuition sharpens, and a deep sense of knowing replaces doubt. The need for external validation dissolves, replaced by an unshakable inner peace. Old relationships that were built on illusion fall away, while new connections form effortlessly, drawn together by an invisible force. Reality bends, shifts, expands. Ancient prophecies speak of a golden age, a time when humanity will transcend division, war, and scarcity. But these transformations do not happen overnight. They move in great cycles, spanning centuries. Will we live to see this world fully formed, or are we merely the first wave, paving the way for those who will come long after us?